kind of wanted to bring up what I was talking about in my last video about spanking children. Now, I believe I stated in that video that there is a huge difference between child abuse and disciplining your child. Disciplining your child, you are instilling in them that for every action, whether it be good or bad, there is a consequence. And for me, discipline isn't just spanking your child. Discipline is, basically what society should be telling us is that discipline is how you carry yourself. You are disciplined, So what I mean by that is discipline can be showing your kid, basically rewarding your child for behaving well and for being a good citizen. And of course, discipline can also go where you do something wrong. You get punished. And by punished, I don't mean beat your kid around the house until they're black and blue and bloody. I don't mean that. I mean, just a spanking, because if you have kids at the younger age, if you give into everything that your child wants, they're going to turn out to be the kids that you see in the video where they are being very disrespectful to their parents. They're throwing hissy fits. You have these teenagers who are, defying their parents. And we, at almost every age, we are always testing our parents' boundaries. We are testing our own boundaries because that's just how life goes. We are constantly trying to figure out who we are and where we belong. And, that's okay. But being that it is okay, there are certain things that parents should be teaching their children. And there are parents who believe that, you should be your child's friend. You should be your child's best friend. And that is okay to a certain degree. There is a fine line. While you are raising them, there is a fine line that needs to be drawn between being your child's friend and being a parent. For me, I love being my kids' friends. I do. I love it. But at the same time, I put being a parent first. And what I mean by being a parent first is I make sure that they understand right from wrong. I make sure they understand that for every action, there is a consequence, whether it be a good consequence or a bad consequence. Now, a lot of people don't agree with with my method of disciplining my children. And I use a few different ways depending on the severity. So what I start out with is I warn my kids. I give them 2 warnings. It's like baseball. 3 strikes, you're out. First strike, don't do it again. Second strike, I told you not to do it again. If you do it again, you will have a repercussion. Third time you do it, you get spanked. Depending on what it is, you get spanked. Now, severity, if you do it again after getting spanked, I will make them exercise. They are doing basically physical training. If any of you who watch this have been in the military or are in the military, my dad was in the Army for a good 20-something years. I think it was 24 years. So you guys understand what I mean when I say smoked. Now, I don't go as far as what you guys have probably been through in the military when you guys get smoked. And, that's basically muscle failure. And what I mean by smoked, for all you civilians who don't understand what I mean by getting smoked, I don't mean like actual smoking. I mean like you are doing push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks. You are running laps for me. You are doing all of these exercises. But I don't do it to where they're going into muscle failure. I don't. I do it to where they are tired and where they feel like they have learned their lesson. And this has worked for me. This has been a method that has worked for me. Now, it probably won't work for everyone. It's not a method for everyone. Mainly because a lot of people can't stand to see their children cry, and I am so desensitized to that I'm just like, okay, I understand you're crying. Did you learn your lesson? We will stop. Did you learn your lesson? And the reason why they cry is because they don't like doing it. You know, they would rather sit in front of the TV and claim to be grounded, but I don't do that. I'm not the parent to be like, you're grounded, go watch TV. No, you don't get that. If I ground you, you don't get electronics, you don't get TV, you don't get to play outside, you don't even get to read a book. You get to sit there. Because honestly, I don't want to use reading books as a form of punishment for my children. My children should love to read, and they do love to read, thank goodness. And that is because I don't punish them with reading. What I do as part of punishment as well, so it's like they get spanked. If they do it again, they do exercises. And then after that, we talk and we reflect. And we reflect on, what did you do wrong? Why did you do this? Because there's never an I don't know. Like, kids will always give the I don't know answer, but that is not the actual answer. And I never accept that as an answer. And they know this. So when we are reflecting, I ask them, okay, so do you know why you got in trouble? Yes. Okay. Please tell me why you got in trouble. I got in trouble because of this. Now, how many times did I tell you not to do this? You told me 3 times. Okay. Why did you not listen the first time? Because this. Okay. So after I told you this and you didn't listen to me the first time, why did you do it the second time when I asked you not to do this? Because this. Well, you realize that after you didn't listen to me the third time, you got the punishment. You got spankings. Yes, I understand. Okay, why did you do it if you knew that you were going to get spanked? Because this. Okay, but you did it again after the third time, after you got spanked. Why did you do it? Because this. Okay, so now you know why you did it, and now you know why you got punished for doing it again, for not listening. And now do you know why you were doing these exercises? Which, by the way, surprisingly enough, they still love to exercise too. Like, I have some pretty fit boys. But, we talk about it. It's like, okay, so now do you know why you exercised? Yes, because we didn't listen to you the first 3 times you asked us not to stop, and we did it again. Okay, why did you do it again? Well, because of this. All right. So now that we understand each other, are you going to do it again? No. All right. Now after that, depending on what it was they did, I will either tell them no electronics, depending for how long, for X amount of, like, either for the rest of the day or for the week. It really just depends on time, place, and situation. And a lot of people don't agree with me about that. Honestly, my kids are well taken care of. They are not abused. Their spirits are not low. They aim high, they dream high, they reach their goals. And I support them in everything that they do. Carson wants to be a professional soccer player. Awesome. Do you know what he's doing now? He's playing soccer. He's on a soccer team. He was in soccer last season. He has soccer gear. For Christmas, I got him a soccer ball that he really wanted, that he saw at Dick's Sporting Goods, which, by the way, Dick's Sporting Goods is an amazing place to go. Like, I love, like, when I go to the mall, that's like one of the first couple places I go to is Dick's Sporting Goods, because I love me some good running shoes, but they are really expensive, so I'm waiting for the perfect sale to get those. Anyway, back on track. I firmly believe that when you discipline your children correctly, you can use spanking, and it's to help teach them right from wrong, and to help, make sure that they are respectful towards others. Because I'm sorry, I was spanked growing up. I was spanked the traditional way. I had strict parents. And sometime, and then it wasn't until I got into high school that, physical PT or, PT or getting smoked was a thing for me. But I can honestly say that through my experience growing up, I am not an asshole. I am respectful to those who respect me. I don't treat other people like shit. And I stay out of how people are parenting their children, because it is honestly none of my business. I am sharing with you my experience. And with all of that being said, I personally feel that if you do not have any children and you are not related to me, you do not get a say in how I should handle situations when it comes to disciplining my children. Because I choose that. You do not help me financially with them at all. You do not help me raise them. You do not see them every day. More than likely, you don't even know who they are. So, unless you are very close to me, unless you are the other parent, which, come on, the other parent isn't even in the picture. It's just me and my family. And if you are not financially supporting them, you do not get a say. So unless you are prepared to help me with the soccer costs, you are helping me pay for everything they need in school. Like, I just went out and got some more Valentine's Day stuff for them. Are you going to help me? Are you going to pay me back some of that money? Are you going to help me put food in their mouths? Are you going to help me with any other bills that have to do with them? Because I personally don't think so. And unless you are prepared to do that, and I see the money coming into my hand and my bank account that helps me support my children, you should not have a say in how I discipline them. Now, however, if you see someone beating the crap out of their child for no good reason, then step in. Call the cops and step in. Because that child will need you. My children do not need you. My children are fine. They are happy. They are well fed. They have a roof over the house. They have their own room. They have their own bed. They keep their room clean. They eat their vegetables. They don't complain about it either. They don't complain about eating their vegetables. Why? Because I am the parent first and I am their friend second. We go fly kites together. We go to parks. We go on little adventures together. And they are wonderful, well-rounded children. And they will be amazing citizens once they leave the nest. Now, if you don't agree with me, feel free to leave a comment. If you agree with me, feel free to leave a comment. I personally want to know how you handle your parenting situations. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Questions, comments, concerns, anything, feel free to ask. I have nothing to hide from any of you lovely YouTube people. With that being said, I'm going to end this video because I'm tired of sitting in my car, and I will talk to all of you beautiful people later. Bye. Mwah.